Have you ever wondered what matters when you reach the final chapters of life? As time slips away, we often find ourselves reflecting on what we've built, the legacy we leave behind, and the choices that shaped our journey. In this video, we'll dive into the stories of three remarkable individuals who faced the realities of aging, illness, and death, but found profound wisdom along the way. These stories offer powerful lessons about living fully, embracing independence, and finding meaning in every stage of life. What can we learn from their experiences? How can we ensure that our later years are filled with peace, happiness, and purpose? This video isn't just about aging. It's about discovering how to live with intention, whether you're 30, 50, or 80 years old. Stay with us until the end to learn how simple daily actions, thoughtful planning, and even daring adventures can transform your outlook on life. By the end of this video, you'll not only feel inspired to take control of your future, but you'll also have the tools to live a more meaningful life, starting today. So, if you're ready to embrace the wisdom of aging and live each day with purpose, keep watching. You won't want to miss a single insight. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. This is an undeniable reality that, when faced with the right mindset, can lead us to experience profound peace and an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. Life is fleeting, and time, that relentless force, never pauses. Isn't it time we all take a step back from the rush of daily existence to reconsider what truly matters? Time, much like a fast-moving river, carries us forward without mercy or hesitation. It sweeps us along with it, and no matter how much we might wish to halt its flow, we can't. Eventually, we reach the distant shores of old age, standing at the water's edge, looking back at the long and winding journey we've made. And when that moment arrives, the burning question is this: how will you feel when you arrive? Will you gaze back at the life you've lived with a deep sense of satisfaction, knowing you embraced the moments that truly mattered? Will your heart swell with gratitude for the love, laughter, and joy you shared along the way? Or will there be a hollow, aching feeling of regret, wishing you had spent more time focused on the things that bring genuine meaning to life: love, connection, kindness, and purpose? The renowned actor Daniel Wong once pondered this very dilemma. He offered a poignant reflection on the nature of life and death, reminding us that while death is inevitable, the meaning of our existence is found in the way we live between those two endpoints. Wong observed that death is certain for each of us, but the real question is not about the end itself. It's about how we travel that path. How do we fill our days, our years, our lives? It's the way we live, the choices we make, and the moments we embrace that ultimately determine the legacy we leave behind. His words, rich with wisdom, echo as a gentle reminder that the real treasure of life is in the journey itself, not just the destination. The end will come, but the beauty lies in the steps we take along the way. This is why today, we'll delve into the deeply moving and inspiring stories of three elderly individuals who have come face to face with the inevitable passage of time. They have weathered the storms of life, navigated its challenges, and along the way, unearthed invaluable lessons about love, loss, and the art of living fully. Their experiences are steeped in wisdom that can serve as a guiding light for each of us. Perhaps, through their stories, you will discover insights that resonate with your own life. Perhaps, through their trials and triumphs, you will find the wisdom to navigate your journey with grace and courage. For this is, without a doubt, the most important journey any of us will ever take. The journey of living a life that truly matters. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment one below to let me know that you are still here with me. A few years ago, Daniel Wong found himself at the center of an unexpected and rather unsettling situation. He was mistakenly reported as dead online, a false report that, for many, would have sparked outrage, confusion, or even despair. But Wong, ever the philosopher at heart, took the incident in stride. His approach to life and death has always been one of deep reflection and calm acceptance. In a candid interview shortly after the mix-up, he reflected on the bigger picture of life and the meaning of death. Every moment we live, we're inching closer to death, he mused. So why not make each second count? Wong's words, though simple, carry a profound truth. They challenge us to confront our mortality, not with fear or anxiety, but with a sense of purpose and urgency. Why spend our lives in fear of the end when we can focus on making the journey toward it as meaningful and rich as possible? Why waste precious time on trivial worries and fleeting distractions when the moments that truly matter, the quiet conversations, the shared smiles, the warm embraces, are right in front of us, waiting to be cherished? It's easy to get caught up in the rush of life, to lose sight of what's important in the pursuit of success, wealth, or status. But at the end of the day, none of that will matter. What will matter are the moments of connection, the relationships we build, and the love we give and receive. Consider for a moment the small, seemingly insignificant moments of your own life. The lazy Sunday morning spent sharing coffee with a dear friend. The laughter echoed through the room during a family gathering. The quiet, peaceful walk you took in nature, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin. These moments, though fleeting, are the very essence of what makes life beautiful. They are the threads that weave together the fabric of our existence. And yet, how often do we take them for granted? How often do we rush through life, barely pausing to appreciate the joy and beauty that surrounds us? Wong's perspective is a powerful reminder to slow down, to take stock, and to appreciate the little things. Because, in the end, it's the little things that will sustain us. The 2-hour conversation with a friend, the fleeting afternoon spent with loved ones, those are the moments that make the inevitable journey toward death worthwhile. So, what about you? How do you feel about this perspective? Does it resonate with you? Have you ever truly stopped to consider that, at the end of it all, it won't be the big milestones or the material accomplishments that define your life, but the small, everyday moments that bring you joy? The moments of connection, laughter, and love. These are the memories that will remain when everything else fades away. If this is a new way of thinking for you, perhaps it's time to reconsider what truly matters in your own life. We are all on this journey together, moving through the current of time toward the same inevitable destination. But the beauty of life is that we have the power to choose how we make that journey. We have the power to focus on the things that bring us true fulfillment, love, kindness, and connection. It's never too late to shift our focus, to start cherishing the moments that matter, and to ensure that when we reach the shores of old age, we do so with a heart full of memories that bring us peace. So, as we explore the stories of those who have walked this path before us, let us open our hearts and minds to the lessons they have to offer. For in their stories, we may find the wisdom we need to make our journey one of meaning, purpose, and ultimately fulfillment. The truth we often overlook is that with old age comes a profound sense of clarity. As beautifully articulated in Facing the Edge of Life, aging illuminates much of what we once took for granted. But while this clarity can offer deep wisdom, it also brings its own unique set of challenges: illness, frailty, the loss of mobility, and the inevitable approach of death. These are not distant, abstract concepts. They are realities that touch each one of us as we travel through the later stages of life. And yet, when we imagine ourselves facing these moments, bettered and limited by time, we often picture ourselves alone. Our children may not always be by our side, either too far away or too busy with their own lives. The wealth we've accumulated, no matter how substantial, becomes powerless in the face of time. No amount of money can buy back health or extend our days. But here's where the true beauty of clarity lies. Instead of feeling powerless, instead of succumbing to the fear and uncertainty that these realities bring, we can choose to reclaim the time we have left. We can take control of how we spend our remaining years. When we strip away the endless distractions of daily life, what remains? The answer is often simpler than we imagine. It's the quiet moments, the time we choose to spend with those we love, the way we choose to approach life's inevitable end. The question then becomes, how can you make your remaining years count? What steps will you take today, this very moment, to ensure that the life you lead is rich in meaning? For many, the greatest fear in growing old is not just a decline of health or the approach of death. It's the uncertainty. What will happen? Who will be there for us? How can we find stability in a world where everything is uncertain, where time slips through our fingers like sand? The truth is, the answers lie not outside of us, but within. It is through our choices, our mindset, and our approach to life that we find the strength to face the uncertainties ahead. Wouldn't you agree that the true meaning of life comes not from the grand milestones, but from how we choose to live each day and how we spend the small, quiet moments? In a world where so much is beyond our control, what do you hold on to for stability? Do you find comfort in relationships, in faith, in the memories you've created, or perhaps in the legacy you'll leave behind? Whatever your answer, it's a question worth reflecting on. Life is fleeting, but the choices we make today can shape how we experience the time we have left. So, I encourage you to take a moment right now and share your thoughts. What gives your life meaning? What do you hold on to when everything else feels uncertain? Let's start a conversation, because the wisdom we share can bring light to others who may be struggling with these same questions. Now, let's shift our focus to those who have lived through these moments. Individuals who have walked the path of aging, illness, and death, but have emerged with deep, unshakable wisdom. These are not stories of sadness or defeat, but of triumph, acceptance, and peace. These are the stories of elderly individuals who have come to understand that, in the end, the most reliable source of strength comes from within. They've learned that while we may wish for others to carry us through our final days, the truth is, we must shape those days ourselves. We must create meaning out of whatever time we have left. And in doing so, we can face the end with a sense of fulfillment and purpose. One such story is that of Mrs. Liu, a remarkable woman who, at the age of 96, passed away on her terms. She lived a life that was both elegant and humble, filled with quiet strength and a deep commitment to self-care. The wife of a well-respected professor at a prestigious university, Mrs. Liu was known not for her wealth or status, but for her independence and mindfulness. Throughout her life, she practiced a philosophy of simplicity, never seeking medical treatment unless it was necessary. She believed in the power of the mind and body to heal, to endure, and to embrace the natural course of life. When illness finally came for Mrs. Liu, she did not fight it with fear or desperation. Instead, she accepted it with grace, choosing to live her final days in peace, surrounded by the familiar comforts of home. She passed away quietly, in the same way she had lived her life, on her terms, with dignity and mindfulness. Mrs. Liu's story is a powerful reminder that even in the face of illness and death, we can retain control over our lives. We can choose how to approach the end, and in doing so, we can create meaning even in our final moments. But Mrs. Liu's story is just one of many. Countless others have faced the realities of aging and death with courage and wisdom. Each of them teaches us a valuable lesson about what it means to truly live, even as we face the end. They remind us that while we cannot control everything, we can control how we respond. And that response, how we live, how we love, how we embrace the small, quiet moments, can make all the difference. So as you reflect on these stories, consider your own life. How will you approach the time you have left? What steps will you take to ensure that your final years are filled with meaning, joy, and peace? The answers may be difficult to find, but they are worth seeking, because in the end, it's not the length of our lives that matters, but the depth. And through stories like Mrs. Liu's, we are reminded that we have the power to shape that depth no matter how much time we have left. Let's continue this conversation. What are your thoughts on aging, on illness, on the way we face the inevitable? How can we find clarity and purpose as we grow older? And what steps can we take today to live a life that matters? Your insights could be the spark that helps someone else navigate their journey. When asked in her later years what her goals were, Mrs. Liu responded with a quiet yet unwavering determination. Her desires were simple: yet deeply meaningful. She wished to live with as little pain as possible and, when the time finally came, to pass swiftly and without becoming a burden to her loved ones. For Mrs. Liu, living fully didn't mean avoiding the inevitable decline of age, but rather embracing every day with purpose and intention. Even as the years began to take their toll on her body, she maintained a routine that kept both her mind and body sharp. Into her 90s, she was still reading, cooking her meals, and carrying out her daily tasks with an independence that was deeply rooted in her sense of self. Rather than relying on frequent visits from her children or seeking constant outside help, she chose to live alone, finding peace and contentment in her own company. To her, independence was not just a lifestyle. It was a treasure, a reflection of her inner strength and resilience. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The power of self-reliance was at the core of Mrs. Liu's philosophy. As she once wisely remarked, the body is one's own. Only you know its pain and warmth. You must rely on yourself for health, fitness, and mental well-being. These words, spoken with conviction, continue to resonate with many older adults who have learned the value of self-reliance in maintaining not only physical health, but also mental fortitude. Mrs. Liu firmly believed that waiting for others, be it doctors or family, to care for you only offered temporary solutions. In her view, true well-being was something that had to be cultivated from within. It was a belief that shaped how she lived, how she approached health, and how she faced the challenges of aging. Rarely did she visit doctors, not because of a lack of trust, but because she had learned to listen to her body, to understand its needs, and to take action accordingly. Rather than relying on medications or frequent medical intervention, she focused on holistic approaches, nourishing her body with a balanced diet, practicing self-care through massage, and making thoughtful lifestyle changes to maintain her vitality. This approach, one rooted in self-awareness and personal responsibility, offered her a sense of control over her aging body. For many older adults, her approach is not only inspiring but empowering. It serves as a reminder that even as our bodies age and slow down, we still can nurture our health, to care for ourselves and to live a life of quality and dignity. Mrs. Liu's philosophy was not one of denial, but of acceptance. She understood that aging was inevitable, but she believed that the quality of life we maintain as we age is something we have some control over. Her story teaches us that self-reliance is not about isolation. It's about understanding that the strength to endure, to persevere, and to live fully lies within ourselves. Even in her final years, she lived each day with a sense of purpose and agency, knowing that her independence was her greatest gift. While Mrs. Liu embraced her life with a sense of daily joy and mindfulness, another equally inspiring figure, Mrs. Xu, approached the realities of aging and death from a different perspective, one marked by foresight and meticulous planning. Mrs. Xu was a brilliant woman with a storied career in medicine. She graduated from a prestigious medical school and made significant contributions to the prevention of infectious diseases throughout her professional life. Even in retirement, she remained deeply engaged with the world, using technology as a means to share her life reflections through online videos. Her wisdom and knowledge continued to touch lives, but it was her preparation for her passing that left a lasting legacy. What made Mrs. Xu's story particularly moving was the thoughtful care with which she approached her mortality. While many people shy away from planning for the inevitable, Mrs. Xu faced it head-on. She took deliberate steps to ensure that her death would not create complications or hardships for her family. With great foresight, she meticulously planned every detail of her departure. Rather than leaving behind complex inheritance issues or bureaucratic hurdles for her children to navigate, she sold her property in advance, converting her assets into cash. By doing so, she ensured that her loved ones would not be burdened by legalities, paperwork, or disputes over her estate. Her careful planning provided her with the peace of mind that, even after her passing, she would leave behind not chaos, but a sense of order and calm for her family. For Mrs. Xu, this level of planning was not merely about practicality. It was an expression of her deep love and care for her family. She wanted to spare them the emotional and financial strain that so often accompanies the passing of a loved one. By taking these steps, she allowed herself to live her final years free from the weight of unfinished business, knowing that her affairs were in order. This, in turn, allowed her to focus on the present, on the joy of living, and on continuing to share her wisdom with the world. Mrs. Shu's story is a testament to the power of preparation and thoughtfulness. It reminds us that, just as we plan for our careers, our families, and our futures, we can also plan for the inevitable with grace and dignity. Her approach not only provided peace for herself, but also left her family with a legacy of love, organization, and respect. It's a reminder that facing death doesn't have to be something we fear. It can be something we approach with intentionality, ensuring that our final chapter is one of peace and resolution. Both Mrs. Liu and Mrs. Shu offer us invaluable lessons on how to navigate the complexities of aging, illness, and death. Through their stories, we see two different approaches. One rooted in daily mindfulness and independence, and the other in careful planning and foresight. Yet both women exemplify a common truth, that even as we age, we hold the power to shape our lives, to find meaning in our days, and to create a legacy that reflects our values. Their stories serve as a source of inspiration for all of us, no matter where we are on our journeys. As you reflect on their experiences, what lessons resonate with you? How do you approach the idea of aging and the inevitability of death? What steps can you take now, whether through daily self-care or thoughtful planning, to ensure that your own life remains one of meaning and purpose? Let's continue the conversation and share the wisdom we've learned along the way. The thrill of living fully, even in the later years of life, is beautifully illustrated by the story of Mr. Gu, an ordinary farmer who was faced with extraordinary circumstances. In his 70s, Mr. Gu received a devastating diagnosis of terminal cancer. After years of enduring medical treatments that seemed to bring little improvement, his family found themselves at a crossroads, unsure of how to proceed. That's when his son made a bold and transformative decision. Instead of continuing the exhausting and seemingly futile treatments, they would take a different path, a path that celebrated life, adventure, and Mr. Gu's deepest dreams. The family decided to pause all medical interventions and embark on a journey to fulfill Mr. Gu's lifelong wish of seeing the ocean. They set out for an incredible adventure, an 88-day journey across the world, one that would become the defining chapter of Mr. Gu's life. What followed was nothing short of remarkable. Together, Mr. Gu and his family traveled to distant corners of the globe, immersing themselves in new experiences and creating precious memories that would forever be etched in their hearts. For a man who had spent his life working the land, seeing the vastness of the South Pacific Ocean was a dream come true. But Mr. Gu didn't just sit back and take in the sights. He embraced every opportunity with open arms. He fished for jellyfish and sea cucumbers, savoring the taste of adventure that he had longed for. He even learned how to play the guitar during the trip, a skill he proudly showcased when he performed for students at a local university. One of the most breathtaking moments of their journey came when Mr. Gu and his beloved wife celebrated their wedding anniversary in the most daring way possible. The couple decided to go skydiving together over the stunning Great Barrier Reef, a once-in-a-lifetime experience that encapsulated the sheer joy and exhilaration of living fully, even in the face of uncertainty. As they soared through the sky, hearts racing and smiles wide, they shared a moment of pure, unfiltered joy. This wasn't just an adventure. It was a powerful affirmation of life, a moment that brought their family even closer together. It was proof that no matter how many years pass or how many challenges arise, there is always room for love, laughter, and adventure. As the trip neared its end, something extraordinary happened. After weeks of experiencing the thrill of life, Mr. Gu's health began to improve. The man who had once been told he had little time left was now filled with newfound vitality. His doctors were astonished, and while they couldn't quite explain it, the evidence was undeniable. Mr. Gu was not only surviving but thriving. He went on to live for several more years, cherishing each day with the wisdom and joy that comes from having truly lived. His story, one of resilience and the power of embracing life's moments, became an inspiration to many. It serves as a testament to the fact that, sometimes, the best medicine is found not in hospitals, but in the act of living fully, fearlessly, and with an open heart. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Embracing the wisdom of aging. As we reflect on these remarkable individuals and their stories, one profound truth emerges. Aging, far from being a time of decline, can be a time of immense growth, wisdom, and fulfillment. Whether it's Mrs. Liu's quiet strength and self-reliance, Mrs. Shu's thoughtful and meticulous planning for the future, and Mr. Gu's embrace of adventure and discovery, these stories reveal a shared theme: the wisdom that comes with age. Each of these individuals approached their later years with a sense of purpose, choosing to live in a way that brought meaning not only to themselves but to those around them. For Mrs. Liu, wisdom came in the form of independence and self-reliance. She understood that only she could know her own body's needs, and that maintaining her health and well-being was a responsibility she took upon herself. For Mrs. Shu, wisdom meant planning, ensuring that her family would not face difficulties after her passing. By handling the practical matters of death with foresight, she was able to live her final years in peace, knowing she had spared her loved ones from unnecessary burdens. For Mr. Gu, wisdom took the form of adventure, a reminder that no matter how old we are, life is always waiting for us to embrace it. His decision to forego treatments in favor of living out his dreams showed that even in the face of terminal illness, we can choose joy over fear and adventure over despair. In each of these stories, we are reminded that aging is not a time to slow down, resign ourselves to the sidelines of life, or give up on our dreams. Rather, it is a time to deepen our connection with ourselves and with the world around us. Just as life is like drinking water, only you know whether it's cold or warm. Aging offers us the chance to reflect on our experiences, to find clarity in what truly matters, and to savor the richness of every moment we have left. Aging brings challenges, yes. Physical decline, the loss of loved ones, and the inevitable approach to death. But it also brings unparalleled wisdom, a deeper understanding of life's value, and the ability to appreciate the present in ways that often elude us in our younger years. It is in these later years that we often discover the strength of self-reliance, the importance of planning for the future, and the sheer joy of embracing life's adventures, no matter how old we are. The stories of Mrs. Liu, Mrs. Shu, and Mr. Gu remind us that aging is not something to fear, but something to embrace. They show us that, in the end, life's greatest rewards often come not from avoiding hardships, but from facing them head-on with courage, resilience, and a heart full of love. So, what lessons can we take from their lives? How can we apply their wisdom to our journey as we navigate the passage of time? Perhaps it's in choosing to take better care of our bodies, to plan thoughtfully for the future, or to seek out the adventures that still await us. Whatever the answer may be, one thing is clear: the thrill of living fully doesn't diminish with age. It only grows richer. The years may pass, but the capacity for joy, growth, and fulfillment remains as vibrant as ever. Let's continue this conversation and share our thoughts on how we can live our own lives with the same sense of purpose, wisdom, and adventure that these incredible individuals exemplified. As we come to the end of these inspiring stories, let's take a moment to reflect. What have you learned from the wisdom of Mrs. Liu, Mrs. Shu, and Mr. Gu? Each of their lives has taught us something profound about aging, independence, thoughtful planning, and the power of living fully, even in the face of adversity. Now, we want to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned from these stories that you will bring into practice in your own life? Please share your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. Your insights might just inspire someone else to take a meaningful step in their journey. If you like this video, please leave your comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more inspiring content like this. Thank you for watching.